The stars above the Galactic Council sector glimmered like scattered diamonds across the black canvas of space. It was a calm morning, or at least it seemed so. On the bridge of the Valerie flagship Eclipse, Admiral Kalen studied the sensor readings, with a growing sense of disbelief. "Captain," he muttered, pointing at the display, "are those humans?" The crew leaned closer. Beyond the outer rim of the neutral sector, something impossible was appearing. A massive vessel, sleek and formidable, slowly emerged from the void. Its hull gleamed with faint energy pulses, unlike anything catalogued by the Council or any fleet. On the holographic display, its name glowed, USS Terra Firma. Lieutenant Sora, a young human serving in the Council fleet, couldn't hide her awe. It just appeared. Where did it come from? Kalen shook his head, speechless. No jump coordinates, no fleet signature. The Supercarrier had simply materialized in the sector. Rumors about Earth's secret technologies had circulated for decades, but no one had ever truly believed them. Until now. From the observation deck of the Terra Firma, Captain Mara Solis stood rigid, her eyes scanning the stars ahead. Her crew was tense yet composed. "All systems are online," she reported to her officers. "Weapons ready, shields stable, fleet readiness 100%. We've been observing the threats quietly. Now, it's time to act." The Council fleet, gathered to monitor the situation, whispered in disbelief. Humans had always been underestimated. Clever, yes, but never capable of producing a supercarrier of this magnitude, one capable of moving across sectors without conventional warp drives or prior detection. Admiral Kalen broke the silence, his voice laced with both fear and admiration. "This is beyond anything we imagined. Humans. They've been hiding this all along." The crew of the Terra Firma worked with quiet determination. Engineers adjusted energy conduits, officers calibrated sensors, and pilots reviewed their flight simulations. Each member understood the gravity of the moment. This wasn't just a demonstration. The galaxy's balance depended on them acting decisively. Lieutenant Sora stepped closer to the observation window. "Do you think they'll attack?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. Mara's gaze did not waver. "No, not unless provoked. But if the galaxy faces a threat, we will intervene. And when we do, no one will doubt humanity again." Kalen could hardly tear his eyes from the readings. Energy signatures from the Terra Firma pulsed in steady, deliberate waves. Each pulse seemed to resonate with life itself, and every Council ship could feel it. Even the oldest Valerie vessels shuddered at the strength emanating from the human supercarrier. Sora whispered again, more to herself than anyone else. "They're not ordinary. They never were." Mara turned her gaze outward, toward the unknown. Beyond the stars, threats lurked. Pirate fleets, rogue empires, even ancient war machines long forgotten. Humanity had remained hidden, preparing quietly, waiting for the right moment. And now, that moment had arrived. Admiral Kalen's voice broke the silence again, tinged with reluctant respect. "If they engage, the galaxy will never be the same." Mara's voice was calm but resolute, carrying both confidence and a hint of emotion. "We do not fight for glory, we fight for life. And if anyone doubts humanity, they will see the truth. Today." The Terra Firma glided silently through the sector, a massive shadow against the starlight. Its presence was overwhelming, awe-inspiring. The Council fleet, composed of thousands of ships, could only watch in shock and wonder, and in that quiet, tense moment, one undeniable truth became clear. Humanity had arrived, not as a minor participant, not as an underestimated species. Humanity had arrived as a force to be reckoned with, ready to change the fate of the galaxy. Every officer on the bridge of the Terra Firma felt the weight of responsibility and pride. They knew that the calm before the storm was ending. Soon the galaxy would witness a display of courage, intelligence, and unity unlike anything it had ever seen. And from the edge of the neutral sector, the Terra Firma moved forward, Silently, powerfully and with purpose, humanity had arrived. The terra firma moved steadily into the council sector, its massive hull reflecting the distant starlight like a polished mirror. Every ship in the fleet sensed the power it radiated, not just energy, but the unmistakable presence of a species prepared for anything. Admiral Kalen's hands hovered over his console. He could feel the tension in his crew, the fear mixing with awe. "Captain," he said, voice tight, "what are the humans planning? Why have they not communicated directly?" On the bridge of the terra firma, Captain Marasalis observed the council fleet with calm intensity. "We act only when necessary," she said to her officers. "Their fleets are stretched thin. If a threat emerges, waiting will cost lives. We intervene to prevent disaster." Lieutenant Sora, still staring wide-eyed at the alien officers around her, whispered, "They're taking control without even asking." Mara's voice was firm but gentle. "Humans don't wait for permission when lives are at stake. That is who we are. And today, the galaxy will see it." The council ships edged closer, scanning the supercarrier with all instruments. They saw the deployment bays, the fighter squadrons hidden behind protective energy panels, and the pulsing core at the vessel's center. Every reading was impossible. The humans had clearly prepared for situations that no other species had anticipated. Suddenly, sensors picked up movement from a nearby nebula. Hundreds of vessels, dark and angular, appeared, a horde moving fast, precise, and coordinated. Their energy signatures were aggressive, clearly on an offensive mission. Kalen's voice trembled slightly. "The enemy. They're approaching. Council colonies. We are already too late." Mara's expression hardened. "Then we intercept." Without hesitation, the terra firma deployed its squadrons. Hundreds of fighter craft burst forth from hidden bays, shields glowing as they spread into formation. The human fleet moved with an almost organic precision, weaving between the council, ships, and the approaching horde. Even the most skeptical alien officers felt a spark of awe and a hint of fear. The horde reacted instantly, opening fire with energy beams that screamed across space. Alarms blared in council ships as shields flared, and hulls quaked under the impact. But the terra firma absorbed the first blasts effortlessly, its shields pulsating with quiet, controlled power. Admiral Kalen's voice was strained with disbelief. How are they so coordinated? How do they anticipate every move?" Elias, a human officer aboard the council fleet, answered softly, almost to himself. "They adapt faster than anyone. They see opportunities where others see only danger. They improvise mid-battle, and no one can predict them. The terra firma didn't just defend, it struck. Energy pulses flared, tearing through enemy vessels with precision that no alien fleet could match. Squadrons of fighters weaved between enemy fire, exploiting every weakness in the horde's formation. Each maneuver was daring, calculated, and executed with a unity that made the council officers realize a painful truth. Humans were more than clever. They were unstoppable when united. On the observation deck, Marasalis felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders, yet she remained calm. Her voice echoed through the ship. "Every move counts. Protect life, not just ships. Use intelligence, courage, and unity. That is our power." Lieutenant Sora watched the fighters darting through fire and said quietly, "I thought humans were brave, but this is something more. They inspire hope, even in the worst chaos." The alien fleet leaders began to whisper among themselves. They had underestimated humans for centuries. Now, faced with a single supercarrier and its hidden forces, they understood the truth. Humanity was a force no one could ignore. The terra firma surged forward, taking the fight to the enemy, while the council ships, hesitant but inspired, followed, cautiously. It was the beginning of a battle that would define the galaxy's future. In the quiet moments between explosions and energy flares, one thing was undeniable. Humans had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. The alien horde struck without warning. Energy beams tore through space, ripping past council ships and narrowly missing the human fighters. Explosions lit the void like deadly fireworks. The terra firma glided forward, shields flaring with every impact, absorbing the enemy fire while retaliating with calm precision. Captain Marasalis stood at the center of the bridge, eyes fixed on the battle map. Every squadron, every microdrone moved exactly as she intended. "Focus fire on their lead ships," she commanded. "We cut the head of the formation and the rest will falter." Lieutenant Sora watched the human pilots weaving through enemy fire with fearless precision. They don't panic," she whispered. "They adjust instantly like they can see the future." Elias Kor, standing beside Mara, added quietly, "Humans aren't just brave. They think differently. That's why we survive when others fail." The Council fleet, still hesitant, tried to match the humans' movements. But the alien horde was relentless. Ships collided, shields failed, and alarms screamed across multiple bridges. Yet the humans never wavered. Every maneuver was precise, calculated yet flexible enough to adapt in real time. Mara's voice rang clearly over comms. "Remember what we are fighting for. Not glory, not honor, life. Protect every colony we can. Fight with intelligence, courage, and unity. That is our strength." From the rear hangar, hundreds of fighters launched, creating a moving wall of firepower. Their small size and incredible speed allowed them to dodge massive beams while striking enemy weak points. One squadron spiraled through a concentrated energy blast, scattering enemy ships and leaving gaps for the human main guns to hit. Admiral Kalen's voice trembled in disbelief over the Council comms. How are they coordinating so perfectly? No fleet in history has ever moved with such synchronicity." Sora smiled faintly. "They inspire each other. Every pilot trusts the next, and they never give up." The alien horde faltered for the first time. Their formation, once rigid and disciplined, began to break apart under the relentless pressure of human tactics. Energy pulses from the terra firma tore through key vessels while the fighter squadrons struck from angles no alien commander could anticipate. Elias clenched his fists. "Look at them. They're turning chaos into order. Every move is part of a larger plan they adapt as it unfolds." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Prepare the core lattice." Below decks, human engineers activated the Supercarrier's secret weapon, an energy lattice designed to disable enemy ships without destroying them. Its pulses spread through the battlefield, scrambling enemy systems and causing their weapons to misfire. The horde shrieked in confusion, unable to counter the unexpected wave. From the observation deck, Sora felt a shiver of awe. "It's beautiful. They're saving lives and defeating the enemy at the same time." Even the alien fleet leaders were forced to acknowledge what was happening. Whispered comments filled the comms. "They're stronger than we imagined. Smarter, relentless." Mara's calm voice echoed again. "We do not rely on brute force alone. We fight with heart, mind, and unity. That is why humanity survives, and why we will protect the galaxy." The enemy horde tried to regroup, but the humans anticipated every movement. Fighters darted through gaps. The Supercarrier's energy beams struck critical nodes, and one by one alien ships were disabled or forced to retreat. The tide of battle had shifted completely. In the quiet moments between energy blasts, Lieutenant Sora realized something profound. Humans don't just fight, they inspire hope. They make everyone around them stronger. The terra firma led the charge as the horde faltered. Council ships, once hesitant and unsure, followed with renewed confidence. Even those who doubted humanity began to understand. This was not just a battle. This was a demonstration of courage, intelligence, and unwavering determination, and above all, it was proof of something no one could ignore, that humanity, long underestimated, had arrived. The galaxy would never see them the same way again. The battle raged across the Council sector, but the terra firma moved with calm precision. Its shields glowed brightly, absorbing the alien horde's relentless energy blasts. Fighters darted in and out, weaving through beams and debris, striking where the enemy was weakest. The Supercarrier was not just a ship. It was a command center, a fortress, and a heart of strategy all at once. Captain Marasalis stood at the bridge, eyes fixed on the battle map. She could feel every pulse, every movement, as if she were connected to the vessel itself. "Prepare the core lattice," she commanded, her voice steady, resolute. "We end this now, but without unnecessary destruction." Below deck, engineers and scientists moved swiftly, the heart of the Terra. Firma was unlike any other weapon in the galaxy. A massive energy lattice capable of projecting a disabling field over vast distances. It could neutralize enemy weapons, shields, and engines without destroying entire worlds. Lieutenant Sora watched the humans working, her eyes wide with awe. "I've never seen technology like this," she whispered. "It's beautiful and terrifying at the same time." Elias Core nodded beside her. "It's not just the technology, it's how humans use it, with precision, patience, and understanding. They fight smart, not just hard." The alien horde noticed the shift immediately. Their attacks became frantic, disorganized, as if they sensed the coming power. The terra firma's lattice began to pulse, sending waves of energy that disrupted enemy systems. Ships faltered, their weapons misfired, shields wavered. The humans weren't just attacking, they were controlling the battlefield. Admiral Kalen, watching from his flagship, whispered to himself, They're doing it again. Humans think differently. They adapt, they improvise, they survive." Captain Mara's eyes scanned the fleet. She could see the fear in the enemy formation, but also confusion. The horde tried to regroup, but every maneuver was anticipated. The humans had turned chaos into a controlled, unstoppable flow of strategy. "Deploy the secondary squadrons," Mara ordered. Hundreds of additional fighters launched from hidden bays, creating a moving wall of firepower. They weaved through enemy lines with unmatched precision, striking critical weak points while avoiding destruction. Lieutenant Sora watched the display. They're saving lives while defeating the enemy. They're not just winning, they're protecting. Elias's voice was quiet but full of admiration. "This is why humans survive. Courage alone isn't enough. You need heart, mind, and unity." The alien horde began to falter. One by one, their ships were disabled or forced to retreat. The terra firma's energy lattice pulsed again, cutting through the last pockets of resistance. The battlefield became still, save for the hum of the supercarrier and the distant sparks of disabled enemy vessels. On the bridge, Mara allowed herself a brief moment to breathe. "We've done it," she said softly. "But remember, this is only the beginning. The galaxy will test us again, and we must be ready." The Council fleet, once doubtful and hesitant, now looked upon the humans with awe and newfound respect. Whispers spread. "They are stronger than we imagined. They think faster, they act smarter. Humanity is unstoppable." Sora turned to Mara. I think we finally understand what it means to be human." Mara's gaze was steady, full of calm authority and deep pride. "It's not just technology or strategy, it's our spirit, our refusal to give up, our willingness to face impossible odds and still fight. That is humanity's true power." Elias smiled faintly. "And the galaxy will remember it." The terra firma hovered over the battlefield like a guardian. Its presence alone inspired hope across every fleet watching. The humans had not just won a battle. They had shown the galaxy a new standard of courage, intelligence, and unity. Outside, the stars shone brighter than ever. In their quiet brilliance, one truth echoed across space. Humanity had arrived, prepared and determined. And for the first time, the galaxy knew that humans were not to be underestimated. The terra firma's heart continued to pulse, a symbol of ingenuity, resilience, and unwavering courage. Humanity had proven itself, and the story was far from over. The battlefield had quieted. The alien horde was retreating, crippled and disorganized. Council fleets hovered cautiously, still unsure whether the humans would strike again. But the terra firma moved steadily, its hull gleaming like a silent promise. Inside the Council's central command, Ambassador Wren paced nervously. His voice was measured but tense as he addressed the assembly. The humans, they did not just defeat the enemy. They outsmarted them, controlled the battlefield, and preserved countless lives. This is unprecedented. Whispers filled the chamber. Many council members had long underestimated humanity, dismissing Earth as a minor player in the galaxy's politics. Now they could not deny the truth. Humans were clever, resourceful, and fearless, and their supercarrier had proven it. Admiral Kalen watched from his flagship, eyes wide with awe. I thought the humans were reckless, he admitted quietly. But their strategy, their discipline, and it is genius. They are nothing like we imagined. Meanwhile, aboard the terra firma, Captain Mara Salas addressed her crew. We have done what was necessary. But this is not a victory for one ship, one species, or one fleet. This is a victory for life, for unity, and for courage. Humanity fights not for glory, but to protect those who cannot defend themselves. Her words resonated deeply. Engineers, pilots, and officers felt a surge of pride. They had acted not because of orders, but because of principle. Humanity's resolve had carried them through impossible odds, and now the galaxy was watching in awe. Lieutenant Sora looked out of the observation deck at the Council fleets. They're afraid of us, but also inspired, she whispered. They've realized humans are not just survivors. We are leaders. Elias Kor nodded. It's not just the ships or weapons. It's our thinking, our unity, our courage. That's what makes the difference, and the galaxy can see it now. Across the council chamber, Ambassador Wren struggled to maintain composure. Captain Salas, he said, his tone a mixture of respect and disbelief. Earth has remained hidden for centuries. Why reveal yourselves now? Mara's voice was calm, steady, and filled with quiet power. We did not reveal ourselves to show strength. We revealed ourselves because the galaxy needed hope. When lives are at stake, hesitation is the greatest threat. Humans act when others hesitate. The council members exchanged glances. Many had relied on rules, traditions, and rigid protocols. Humanity had bypassed all of that, acting with intelligence, intuition, and courage. The realization hit them hard. The galaxy had underestimated the humans for far too long. Kalen shook his head in awe. They are more than a fleet. They are a force of nature, clever, adaptive, relentless. The galaxy will never be the same. Back aboard the terra firma, the crew prepared for the next steps. Fighters were recalled, weapons systems rechecked, and energy cores recalibrated. Mara walked among her officers, speaking briefly to each, instilling confidence, pride, and unity. Lieutenant Sora approached Mara quietly. Do you think they will ever accept us as equals? She asked. Mara's eyes softened, reflecting determination and calm. They will not just accept us, they will respect us, and they will remember that humanity does not fight for power, but for life. That is something no one can ignore. Elias joined them, smiling faintly. Today we showed the galaxy what humans are capable of, but we also showed something more, that courage and unity can change the course of history. Outside, the stars stretched infinitely, silent witnesses to humanity's triumph. The terra firma hovered as a beacon, a symbol of hope and strength. Across countless fleets, council ships, and distant colonies, whispers spread. Humans are not what we thought. They are something more. They are unstoppable. In that moment, one undeniable truth echoed across the galaxy. Humanity had arrived, and the world would never see them the same way again. And deep in the heart of the Supercarrier, Captain Mara Salas knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had revealed its strength, but greater challenges awaited, and when those challenges came, the galaxy would once again witness the courage, intelligence, and unbreakable spirit of humans. The galaxy had quieted after the battle, but tension lingered in the council sector. Alien fleets monitored the terra firma warily, unsure whether the humans would strike again or retreat. Humanity's sudden emergence had shattered expectations, leaving every species questioning what they had assumed about Earth. Captain Mara Solis stood on the bridge of the terra firma, her eyes fixed on the swirling stars beyond. The supercarrier hummed with energy, alive with purpose. "We've shown them strength," she said softly to Elias Kor at her side. "But strength alone is not enough. Now we show that humans lead with intelligence, courage, and vision." Elias nodded, pride and awe in his eyes. "They thought we were reckless, unpredictable. Now they see we are methodical, creative, and united. Humanity is more than firepower." Lieutenant Sora observed the council fleets from the observation deck. Ships once skeptical and cautious now mirrored the humans' maneuvers, hesitant but attentive. "They're listening," she whispered. "They've realized humans don't just fight battles. We think, plan, and adapt. They've underestimated us for too long." Across the council chamber, Ambassador Wren paced anxiously. "Earth has hidden its capabilities for centuries," he said. "Now with one appearance, humans have shifted the balance. Every fleet, every colony, every council member, they are watching. They are afraid and in awe." Mara's voice echoed over, the fleet comms calm yet commanding. "We act not for dominance, we act to protect. Every life matters. Every threat must be addressed with strategy, courage, and unity. That is humanity's way." The humans' demonstration had sparked more than fear. It had sparked hope. Across colonies under threat from rogue factions, whispers spread. Earth has arrived. They fight for life. They cannot be stopped. Admiral Kalen, still observing from the council flagship, muttered to himself, "They are changing the galaxy without firing a single shot beyond what is necessary. They think differently. They inspire. They lead." Back on the terra firma, Mara's officers prepared for further operations. Communications were sent to scattered fleets and vulnerable colonies, offering protection and coordination. Humanity was no longer a hidden power. It was a shield for the galaxy. Sora looked at Mara with admiration. "Do you think they understand what humans are capable of now?" Mara's gaze remained on the stars, steady and unwavering. "They will understand. Not because of weapons or battles, but because they've seen our spirit. They've seen that humans do not give up. We do not hesitate. We find solutions when others see only problems. That is what makes us dangerous, and why we protect life so fiercely." Elias smiled faintly. "Today, humans saved lives. Tomorrow, we might save worlds. But it's not just the victories, it's the example we set. Courage, intelligence, and unity. That is what will endure." Outside, the council fleets began to adjust their strategies. Some moved closer to observe, others cautiously mirrored human formations. Across the sector, alien officers whispered, among themselves finally admitting the truth. Humans were no longer to be underestimated. Even the distant colonies, long ignored and considered insignificant, felt the shift. Humanity's emergence meant a new era of protection, ingenuity, and hope. The galaxy's balance had changed, not by brute force, but by the demonstration of intelligence, courage, and strategic vision. In the quiet hum of the supercarrier, Mara allowed herself a brief smile. They had proven their worth, shifted perceptions, and inspired hope. But the galaxy would always have new challenges. Humanity's mission was far from over. Lieutenant Sora's voice was soft but certain. Humans are not just survivors. We are leaders, guides, and protectors. Everyone will know it now. Mara's gaze hardened, resolute and full of calm authority. And when they face the next threat, they will remember what we have done today. They will remember humanity's courage, intelligence, and unbreakable spirit. And they will know they cannot stop us. The terra firma floated silently among the stars, a beacon of human ingenuity, a symbol of hope, and a warning to any who dared threaten the galaxy. Humanity had shifted the balance. The galaxy had seen their strength, and the echoes of this revelation would be felt for generations. And deep in the hearts of every human aboard, one truth burned brighter than any star. The galaxy would never underestimate them again. The stars stretched infinitely across the Council sector, calm now, after the storm of battle. Yet the silence carried a weight heavier than any explosion. Every fleet, every Council ship, every distant colony had witnessed the humans' emergence. And the galaxy was changing. Aboard the terra firma, Captain Mara Salas stood at the bridge, eyes fixed on the horizon of glittering stars. The supercarrier hummed softly beneath her feet, alive with energy, power, and purpose. Around her, officers and crew moved with quiet confidence, their faces reflecting pride and determination. Humanity had shown what it was capable of, but Mara knew their mission had only just begun. Lieutenant Sora approached, her eyes wide with awe. "Captain, the Council, the fleets, the colonies, they're talking about us. They're calling us unstoppable." Mara's gaze softened yet remained unwavering. "Not unstoppable because of weapons," she said gently. "Not because of ships or power. Humans are unstoppable because of heart, intelligence, and unity. We do not give up. We do not hesitate. We fight for what must be protected. That is what they have seen." Elias Core, standing beside them, nodded slowly. They believed we were weak, fragile. They thought our homeworld could never produce something like the terra firma. Now they know the truth. We do not wait for permission. We act when it matters most. In the council chamber, Ambassador Wren addressed his colleagues with a mixture of fear and respect. Humans have changed everything. One ship, one species, has demonstrated a courage, a unity, and a brilliance we have never seen. We can no longer treat them as mere participants. They are leaders. They are protectors, the council members whispered among themselves. Some still feared the humans, while others felt inspired. Across fleets and colonies, the message was clear. Earth's hidden supercarrier had revealed a new era in the galaxy. Humanity was no longer underestimated. Humanity was a force to be respected, to be relied upon, and, if necessary, to be feared. On the bridge, Mara turned to her officers. "Today we've proven our worth. Tomorrow we will continue to protect those who cannot defend themselves. Humanity's mission is not just survival. It is hope, guidance, and courage, and we will not fail." Lieutenant Sora looked out at the stars, shimmering with distant colonies and council ships. "Do you think they understand, Captain, that humans are not just clever, but relentless, creative, and courageous?" Mara smiled faintly, pride shining in her eyes. "They will understand, and more importantly, they will remember. Every fleet, every council member, every corner of the galaxy will remember the day Earth's hidden supercarrier appeared and changed everything." Elias added quietly, "It's not just the supercarrier, the fighters, or the technology. It's the people aboard it. The courage, the quick thinking, the refusal to give up. That is humanity's real power." Outside, the terra firma hovered among the stars, a beacon of hope and strength. The council fleets kept their distance, watching with awe. Across the galaxy, whispers spread like starlight. Earth has arrived. Humans do not wait. Humans do not surrender. Humans will protect the galaxy. Mara turned once more toward the observation deck, where her crew gazed silently at the stars. They thought we were small. They thought we were fragile. They believed we could be ignored. Today, we showed them the truth. Humanity survives, humanity protects, and humanity endures. And the galaxy will never forget it. The stars seemed to shine brighter that night, reflecting the courage and ingenuity of a species that had refused to be underestimated. And in the quiet of space, one undeniable truth echoed across countless woe.